We are back with a brand new video. What is up, you guys? We are back with another NBA video. Well, actually, we're going to be talking about more college basketball, as you guys can see from the title and from the video itself. We're going to be looking at Bleacher Report's updated 2-round mock draft that was released about 4 days ago by Jonathan Wasserman. Shout out to him for the article. Apologies, my voice sounds a little bit, off. I am a little bit sick right now, but hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving break. And enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and we're gonna be back making videos. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do it once a week. And yeah, let's get right into it, man. Without further ado, make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this mock draft. Again, I think a lot of my bigger videos last year were during draft time. I don't think I'm gonna release a mock draft right now just because it's very early into the season. I'm just reacting to Bleacher Reports because theirs were just posted. But maybe my first mock draft will be around January, something like that, after maybe a month of college basketball has passed. But yeah, let's get right into it. So number 1 overall pick, we got the Detroit Pistons selecting Victor Wembanyama. Very, very self-explanatory pick. He is the consensus clear-cut number 1 prospect in the draft for a good reason. I mean, this guy is just an incredible unicorn of a talent. And I don't really care what position you already have on your team. He is worth the number 1 overall pick. You draft him, I don't really care if you have a center already. He is the real deal, and he is going to be a superstar as long as he doesn't get hurt. 2nd overall pick, I'm expecting Scoot Henderson, and it is Scoot Henderson to the Rockets. Scoot Henderson to the Rockets is an interesting fit. Again, I would take him if I was a team at the number 2 overall spot, no matter what they have already. KPJ, his playmaking has improved a little bit, but I don't see him as a true point guard. Scoot Henderson is ultimately a very, very good facilitator. And the thing about Scoot Henderson that separates himself from a lot of these other guys, when Ja Morant was coming into the league, Scoot Henderson is compared to Ja Morant a lot. But Scoot Henderson's pull-up game is already a lot more advanced than Ja Morant's was at that time. So that's what makes his potential so scary. He already has the athleticism and the vision of a Ja Morant, but his pull-up game is already at an advanced level as compared to what Ja Morant's was when he first came into the league. He reminds me of a John Wall type player, man. He's a very, very electrifying player. And like I said, the Rockets could use a true point guard. KPJ as a 6th man, I really like that idea, and Scoot Henderson is that guy. So at number 2, I like that pick for sure. He's also improving his 3-point shot, which is good. Number 3, we got the Charlotte Hornets taking Amen Thompson, combo guard out of the overtime elite, one of the twins. I'm not as high on Amen Thompson as I am, as a lot of people are. He's more if I were to do a big board right now, off the top of my head, he would be around 7 or 8. He's really good. Obviously, I just think the lack of jump shot is really what's preventing me from putting him above a lot of these other guys, which is why I'm leaning towards guys Cam Whitmore, Dariq Whitehead, even Nick Smith. A lot of these guys who have a lot more skills offensively as far as creating their own shot and shooting the ball than Amen Thompson. But I like Amen Thompson, obviously, as a prospect. He has been not a consensus number 3 prospect, but he's a lot of people have had him as their number 3 prospect, and the Charlotte Hornets can definitely use a guy next to LaMelo. I don't know how that would work though, just because, like I said, he's not the best 3-point shooter, and if LaMelo's gonna have the ball in his hands, he's gonna have to make himself be a threat off the ball. So hopefully his 3-point shooting improves. When you as the season goes on, hopefully his 3-point shooting improves, and he makes himself a nice threat, from the 3-point line. All right, next we got the Orlando Magic selecting Nick Smith Jr., freshman out of Arkansas. They have him at 4, which is really, really good, actually. And Nick Smith Jr. at 4, a lot of people are not this high on Nick Smith. I'm very impressed by Bleacher Report for having him this high. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The Orlando Magic don't really have a true PG. Cole Anthony is more of a combo guard. Markelle Fultz, there's a lot of question marks about his injuries and stuff like that. And then Jalen Suggs I also see as a 2. So they're really lacking a point guard, a true point guard. Obviously they have Paolo and Franz as point forwards, but as a point guard, they don't really have like a true point guard. And Nick Smith is a very, very good player, man. I think Arkansas is going to have a really good season, especially with him, Anthony Black, and Jordan Walsh. Like, they have a very stacked team, and I think they're going to have a really good season. And I think Nick Smith is going to be a big part of, why they have a good season. He still hasn't made his college debut yet, but his ball handling, like, as you guys can see, what Wasserman said right here, changes speed, counters. He can play off the ball, on the ball. And you can play him next to Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony can come off the bench. That's a very good role for Nick Smith. I really like that fit a lot. Pelicans with Cam Whitmore is dangerous, man. It is extremely dangerous. Cam Whitmore really impressed me. I think it was like the FIBA Americas or something like that. I don't know what tournament it was, but it was an overseas tournament. And he was going crazy. Like, he was like the best player in the tournament. And I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's legit. He's very, very good. And his off the ball threat, and his what he can do on the ball next to BI, Zion, CJ McCollum, like, that's just a very, very good fit for that team. Like, another wing that can really help you offensively. That is scary. Like, either Whitmore or Whitehead in New Orleans would be a scary, scary sight to see. If you're a Pelicans fan, like, that would just be the dream. That would be the dream. Whitmore is very, very explosive, as you guys can see right here. Again, another player who's not made his debut yet, but again, like I said, the FIBA Americas, yeah, that's what the tournament was. And yeah, he's only 18. He turns 19 after the draft. And he's improved his shooting, and he's improved his his playmaking as well. So I'm really a fan of his game. Next, we got San Antonio taking Anthony Black. This is actually a very interesting pick. Anthony Black, I've not really seen him going this high in mock drafts. So like him and Nick Smith are both going extremely high. I like the Nick Smith respect. Anthony Black, I'm not like extremely high on, but like as far as like, I think he's a really good player, but I'm not like, he's not like one of my favorites or anything. I think he's a good player, but like, there are other guys that I like over him. But I think he's a really good player. He's been playing really well over these past couple of games without Nick Smith. The Spurs, as far as fit is concerned over there, I guess it makes sense. They don't really have a point guard. I think Trey Jones has been getting most of the reps there. I would like to see them go Whitehead though. I think a wing depth of like Whitehead, Vassell, and Keldon Johnson would be really good. Or if they wanted to go with like, I don't know, like a Jarris Walker. But Anthony Black is a very good fit though. I think that's probably the best fit because they lack a point guard. So I think that's what he's going for here. He's drafting for fit right now. But Anthony Black is a very good player for sure. Cason Wallace to the Miami Heat is like a very culture type fit. Like that is like a prototypical Miami Heat player. Yeah, that is like a match made in heaven. If you're the Miami Heat, you should be all over Cason Wallace. He's a very gritty defender. He's probably the best perimeter defender in the draft as far as like on-ball defender. He plays hard. He has a lot of Marcus Smart in his game, man. He's a very, very electrifying player defensively and offensively. He's underrated, man. Let's see what they have about him right here. Yeah, Cason Wallace. He's a very, very good player. He has, again, it's not. He's not very athletic or anything, but his shooting percentages were very good, and yeah, his defense is his calling card, and that's what makes him a very special player. But yeah, Cason Wallace to the Heat, definitely a match made in heaven. As we move on to Oklahoma City Thunder, Brandon Miller. This is one of my favorite players in the draft, man. I think Brandon Miller is going to be an extremely good player, and the fact that OKC is getting him over here at 8, I think this is a very good pick for them. I'm a huge fan of Brandon Miller's game. I think he has a lot of Paul George in his game. He's extremely smooth. He's a wing that has a nice stroke, and he's sneaky athletic as well. Like I'm a huge fan of Brandon Miller's game. I think OKC, you put him alongside Shea and Giddey and Chet whenever he's back. That's a very, very good. That's a scary team for the future. Right there. So I'm a huge fan of Brandon Miller. Dariq Whitehead finally goes at number 9. This is a steal for the Magic. Not only did they get Nick Smith, they got Dariq Whitehead. I mean, you cannot be happier if you're the Magic fan. Dariq Whitehead, another player who hasn't made his debut yet, but he's gonna be really good once he does for sure. Golden State, Jarris Walker. Another one of my favorite players here, man. Jarace Walker is a very, very good defender. And he's one of those like grown man body type players. Like, huge fan of Jarace Walker's game out of Houston. And he does a lot of, he's very versatile. He does a lot of things like that don't really show up on the stat sheet. And Golden State would love his fit, especially a team that has championship aspirations. Like a guy like that who can just, be a plug and play guy. That's their bread and butter right there. We're gonna kind of zoom through these not these last ones, but zoom through these other, draft picks. GG Jackson, probably my favorite prospect in the draft. I don't know if he's gonna be one and done for sure, but he's the youngest player in the draft, and he is a very, very good player, man. He's an extremely good player. 16-8. He can shoot. He's athletic and he can defend. I mean, what else do you need? Grady Dick, another very good shooter, reminds me of Christian Brown. Keontae George at 13 is a steal for the Utah Jazz. Taquavion Smith is a very good player as well. He's a shot creating type guard that the New York Knicks would really like. Asar Thompson at 15, some would say that's a steal as well. I'm very surprised that Derek Lively has not gone yet. This is very surprising, man. Derek Lively, it's been 15 picks and I haven't seen Derek Lively. Khalil Ware has gone before Derek Lively, which is surprising to me. I'm really high on Khalil Ware, but a lot of people think Derek Lively is better. And a lot of people have Derek Lively in their top 10. Like, there's no way that I would think Chris Murray would go over Derek Lively. Jet Howard, one of my top 5 favorite players, man. If you are a college basketball fan, Jet Howard should be on your radar. He is a baller. He is a hooper. Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine, Dylan Mitchell. I'm just looking for Derek Lively at this point. He's at 23. Like, there's no way I would think Kyle Filipowski out of Duke was going to go, like, on the same team, was going to go before Derek Lively. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that Kyle Filipowski on the same college team as Derek Lively, who's probably gonna be his replacement whenever Derek Lively's not in the game, like, that is crazy to me. Rayon Rupert out of New Zealand, he's a very good player as well. Just scrolling now, Marcus Sasser. I'm just gonna let y'all know some guys to keep watch on. Marcus Sasser is a very good player, man. I think he's definitely a first round type player, and I think he's, a lot of people don't like him because he's old, but he's like these 4-year players. A lot of them like have a bad rap because they don't have as much potential as some of these younger players. But if you look at guys like Fred VanVleet, Spencer Dinwiddie, Malcolm Brogdon, like, they're very steady players in this league for a reason, is because they know their role. 31-40, we got Jordan Hawkins, Tyrese Proctor. He's a very good player for sure out of Duke. Coleman Hawkins out of Illinois. So as someone who goes to Illinois, Coleman Hawkins is an extremely good player, man. He's a very versatile defender. And this season, he's been shooting the ball extremely well. So I'm a huge fan of Coleman Hawkins' game. And he's been a big reason why we've been winning some games this season. Like, I think we're 5-1. Him and Terrence Shannon Jr. have been killing for us. Jaime Jaquez out of UCLA, another 3-and-D player that a lot of teams would love. Jordan Walsh, surprised he fell this low. Leonard Miller, same thing, 41. 41 is extremely low for Leonard Miller. And then Arthur Kaluma at 42 is probably the steal of the draft. I mean, I think he's a for sure first rounder. I mean, 42 for Arthur Kaluma. I mean, come on, man. This guy is a projected lottery pick for a lot of people, and the fact that y'all have him at 42 is ridiculous. Amari Bailey, Mojave King, Caleb Love, TJD, Trace Jackson Davis, Oscar Shibwe. I mean, the rest of the guys are kind of standard. The things that really surprised me the most were, number one, the fact that Arthur Kaluma fell to 42 was crazy, and Derek Lively fell to 23. That was also crazy to me. Apart from that, though, it was a good mock draft. I'm going to react to more of these as, they come out from different outlets, but hopefully y'all enjoy this one. I'll catch y'all later as always, man. Have a nice day. Peace.